contracts, and I'm glad Mike's been appointed to that committee, and I'd like to know who the other members are, and just keep a running list of who are the committee members and
We had
committees
Ginger,
for the council.
Ginger was on it.
Ginger?
Jim Wright.
Who?
Jan Wright.
Oh.
And there's one more.
Dan Henderson was here.
Who was it?
Dan Henderson was here.
Oh, right, Dan Henderson. Was there one other person?
Except Jim Wright
Ginger.
and Tom. Yeah.
And Tom Patty. Yeah.
Well, earlier Sandy brought up the fact about Sir Optimus Park, and that there's a contract with PPL, or anyways, for that park specific. I'm a member of the Little League board as well, lots of hats, right? But, so we had a meeting on Monday, and we discussed, you know, the field that Little League uses, that we have an agreement somewhere, never's been found, right? So we need to come up with a new agreement on that park, that town property.
Fields?
Yeah, about the fields. And so, you know, why I'm bringing up tourism is because there's always been the goal to host All-Stars, which is a huge tourism event, you know, over a weekend in the summer to bring a lot of people here. And so Little League Board has asked that I come and share stuff with you. We're gonna have a big bullet point list. Now I will share that with the committee and then have a formal request in for some monies to provide some upgrades to the fields which are needed to then host. But they have been told by the region that we could host next year. And so if we made some of these improvements quickly, then, and they inspected our fields, then we could actually do this. So one of the major things that's going to be happening is some field improvements and stuff like that, additional water lines and all that. And so this agreement just needs to be discussed. This council needs to make it informal with that group so that we can actually, you know, if they're gonna spend some money, they need to be having assurances that water will remain on longer so that the fields will actually stay green and be able to sustain themselves throughout the summer, which typically doesn't happen, right? I mean, it's once the baseball season is over. But what we're hoping is that other, you know, leagues like AYSO or even the football groups could get down there. And we do have now a summer league, a co-ed slow pitch softball league that had 5 teams I believe last year, which was awesome, right?
Great.
We were both involved, it was cool, right? So there'll be groups using the fields, we're gonna bring them up to speed, there have been donations made, but we're looking for others to try to you know, improve these in a way that tourism-wise would actually bring some more people to the community. And you know, a couple dollars spent here, you know, circulates and it's a huge win. So I think that'd be money well spent from this fund that's growing, and we only barely crumbs today. We got rid of it in a huge way, like it did too. So, anyways, we'll talk more about them. I did want to bring that up as I told the board I would.
Okay, good.
And the pad was one other thing. Supposedly somewhere there's an agreement about the skate pad, and it's like
I'm not sure about that.
yeah. So I think that even if there was, this is unless it was some.
The history on that
Yeah.
is that there was a committee several years ago, probably 2 members, that wanted to build a skate park there. And they talked to the town about getting an agreement to use that property. And before the agreement, they never really got enough money to do it. Before the agreement was made, they, without the town's knowledge or permission, put that cement in there. So that's,
So technically it's ours.
so it
The
is
Little
the
League would
town's
like to
property.
actually start,
Yeah.
as part of their cleanup, is removing some of those backstop structures that are, you know, storing a lot of the equipment underneath and build a new structure out there. So we'll need to talk more about that, but, you know, it'd be my opinion that there's no reason not to let the Little League continue to try to improve what they can down there and are ripping out old stuff and putting a consolidated area for all this equipment and a nice new, you know, concession stand or whatever. I don't know all the plans yet, but as they come more to light, that pad was discussed as it's not being used. I mean, the kids go out and play on it during game times, but it'd be nice to actually get a structure out there and get more organized.
Marcy might be able to tell you more about that pad than.
I was on the committee at that time, but I don't know, I mean, I know that Tanya Minchinella has all the paperwork on that, I don't have any of that, so.
I think that, I do know that there was never a real contract.
Right,
with
and I
the
know
committee.
Brad poured the concrete,
Right.
and, I mean, I don't know, I'd put picnic tables on our, I'd make some use of it, so.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, cover
it is,
Ours.
I'm really sure that it's the town's
Okay.
property, yes.
So we should just,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll have Lily come and we'll talk some
Yeah,
more.
and I'll try to look for that agreement with the lake. I haven't seen it, but that doesn't mean
Well,
it's not
it's-
there somewhere.
Yeah,
Could be not
who
unwritten.
knows how long old it is.
Right, back in the good old days.
So, yeah.
Well, and one of the
Ancient.
concerns I had brought up to Buddy, if I'm correct, is the new president.
Yep, yep, I mean,
Is security of things out there, because I called in kids out there doing cookies on the driveway. Of course, they saw my van go by and they immediately skedaddle because they know who I am, and I slow down. And but we need to also look at protecting that investment once they put this money into what's the best way, because those kids go out there, tear up all that rock, and I think parties have donated gravel in the
yeah,
past, and they
lots
just,
of work and time.
yeah, and they just tear it up, and I hate to see that go to.
The intent is to put a fence around it.
Cameras is one.
To try and gate it, so
Yeah.
that's something that they're gonna need to talk to you about. And maybe even do 2 gates where one's
Yeah.
for you guys.
There's those
specifically, so.
cables
Yeah.
blocking just so they can't drive in there.
Because you guys use that east side.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll talk more about that
Sure.
soon.
I'm gonna have to do a field trip, take us all out there.
Yeah, it'd be good to see you.
Oh, I know it well. I know Darwin does.
That's all I have.
That's all, anybody else? Okay, now we'll adjourn regular session at 4:05 and move on to executive session.
505.
Or 5:05, excuse me.